In the previous video, we have seen the queue implementation. The problem with the linear queue is we do not have a fixed size, so it grows throughout in the memory. So if you are using a programming language which is statically typed like C or C++, where you have to allocate memory manually, then that can be a problem. But if you are using a programming language which uses dynamic memory allocation like Java, Python, or JavaScript, then you don't have to worry about that. The circular queue is an interesting data structure where we will specify the size of the queue and the queue won't grow beyond that. A circular queue is a special case of a queue where the front and the back of the queue is connected, forming a circle. And again, we will use an array of fixed size to implement circular queue. So this is how the circular queue looks like. We have a circular queue of size 6 and rear and front pointer will not point to anywhere, and the enqueue operation we will enqueue 10 at 0th index, and the rear and the front pointer will both point to the first element that is being enqueued. And if you want to enqueue one more element, we will increment the rear and enqueue it. Similar to the linear queue, we will enqueue at the rear and dequeue at the front. And next we will increment rear and enqueue 30. Next we will enqueue 40 at 3, and next we will enqueue 50 at 4, and finally we will enqueue 60 at 5. Now the queue is full, we cannot enqueue further. If you enqueue further, it will override the existing items in the queue. So the next operation we need to do before enqueuing is dequeuing. So this is how a queue looks like now. We will dequeue from the front, and the front moves further, and 10 is dequeued, and we will dequeue one more element, that is 20, and now front points to 30, and now we have space to enqueue more elements, so we will enqueue here. Now the rear, which used to point at 5 earlier, will point to 0. In the case of linear queue, it will point to the next index, that is 6, but here the array size is limited, it will come and point to 0. We have one more space to enqueue an element. Let us go ahead and do that. So it is added at the index 1. So that was an overview of circular queue. Now let us see where circular queues are used. First is traffic light management. Let us say you are in a junction of 4 roads combining. Here we will use a circular queue of size 4 so that the traffic is controlled in a round robin fashion. Next is streaming data in buffering audio and video. So if you are watching this video on YouTube, a section of the video will be already preloaded. Then it will read from the buffer and stream it to you. The next example is some music playlist in repeat mode. Let's say you have 10 songs in the playlist. When you finish the 10th song, you want the first song to be played again. Then we can use queue to implement music playlist, which is in repeat mode. So that's about the overview. In the next video, we will see how to implement circular queue in JavaScript.